All right, let's jump right in. If you're gearing up for your first coding interviews, you know that feeling, right? It can be a lot. Today, we're cutting through all that noise with the Freshers Coding Blueprint. Think of this as your practical, step-by-step game plan to get you ready.
And look, this isn't some fluffy motivational speech or a bunch of theory. This is all about what you can actually do. Our goal is super simple, to give you total clarity on what you need to focus on starting right now, so you can walk into those interviews feeling prepared and confident.
First things first, before we even touch a line of code, we need to tackle a huge misconception. Seriously, this is a myth that trips up so many freshers, and it's all about what interviews are really for. So, let's just ask the big question right up front. When you're sitting across from that interviewer, what are they actually trying to figure out about you? The answer? Well, it might not be what you think.
This slide really breaks it down perfectly. On one side, you've got the myth. The idea that companies are just looking for a long list of certificates or that you have a bunch of answers memorized. But the reality, it's completely different. They want to see how you think. Can you actually solve a problem you haven't seen before? Do you understand the fundamentals? And can you explain your thought process out loud? That's the real test.
Okay, so now that we've busted that myth, we can get to the fun part, building the most critical piece of your prep work, which is your technical foundation. This is where we roll up our sleeves.
We're breaking this down into 3 core pillars. It's a simple process. First, you've got to master the fundamentals. This is the absolute bedrock. Then, you take that knowledge and you apply it by practicing with data structures and algorithms. And finally, you prove you can use these skills in the real world by building actual projects. Let's dig into each one.
Before you even think about complex algorithms, you have to be rock solid on the basics you see here. We're talking variables, loops, functions, the essentials of object-oriented programming, and how to use things like lists and dictionaries. Even a basic grasp of time complexity is huge. Seriously, if this foundation is weak, everything else will feel shaky during an interview. Do not skip this step.
Next up, DSA, data structures and algorithms. Now listen, the goal here is not to memorize hundreds of random problems. The real goal is to fill your problem-solving toolbox. You want a deep understanding of the essentials like arrays and strings, how recursion works, searching and sorting, and basic structures like stacks and queues. A focused approach on these key topics will help you way more than just randomly solving problems.
And this is how you practice. It's not about some marathon 8-hour coding session once a week. It's about building a consistent daily habit, just 1 or 2 problems every single day. It's like going to the gym for your brain. It builds that problem-solving muscle and keeps everything fresh. Consistency is truly everything.
Now let's talk projects. This is your chance to really show off what you can do. You are almost guaranteed to hear this question. So, tell me about your project, and you need to be ready. This isn't just about listing features. You need to explain the what, the how, and most importantly, the why. What problem were you trying to solve? What were the biggest challenges you ran into?
And that brings us to this golden rule right here. A single, well-explained project on your resume is worth so much more than a dozen online course certificates. Why? Because a project is proof. It proves you can actually apply your knowledge to build something that works. It shows you can do, not just that you've learned.
Okay, so you're building up that technical foundation. Awesome. But being a great developer isn't just about writing code. Now we need to focus on the other half of the battle, how you present yourself and communicate your ideas.
Your technical skills get you the interview, but these questions, this is how you get the job. You have to be able to talk about yourself clearly and answer these kinds of questions about your background and what motivates you. Don't just try to wing it. Thinking about these answers beforehand shows you're a serious professional candidate.
So, how do you practice talking about code? You gotta simulate the real thing. It's simple. Sit down and record yourself on your phone explaining a coding problem out loud. Time yourself, then watch it back. Is your explanation clear? Are you rambling? I know it might feel a little awkward, but this simple exercise is one of the most powerful ways to get better at thinking on your feet. All right, it's the final days before your big interview. The goal right now is to build confidence, not stress yourself out. This is not the time to try and learn some brand new complex topic. Instead, just revise what you already know. Go over your projects, review basic syntax, and brush up on those core concepts. Walking in calm is a huge strategic advantage.
And finally, let's talk about the most underrated part of this whole process, your mindset, your attitude, your resilience. This stuff can honestly make or break your performance. Take a look at these common traps.
You ever get stuck in tutorial hell where you just watch videos but never actually code? Or maybe you forget to practice every day, or you focus so much on code you forget about communication. The point here isn't to feel bad, it's to realize this stuff is normal. Recognizing these pitfalls is the first step to avoiding them.
This is a tough one, but it's so important. You are probably going to face rejection. It is a completely normal part of the job search. It does not define who you are or what you're capable of. Your responsibility isn't to never get rejected, it's to learn something from every single experience and keep getting better.
And that's really what it all boils down to. That fear and anxiety you feel before an interview, it's almost always just a symptom of feeling unprepared. When you've actually put in the work, practicing a little bit every day, building things, reviewing your notes, you start to replace that fear with real, earned confidence. Success isn't about talent, it's about preparation.
So, we'll end with this question for you. You've got the blueprint. The plan is right here. The only thing left is to start. So what is the one single, practical step you are going to take today to get started on this journey? Don't wait for tomorrow. Start now.